Are you looking to quit your job and start a small business because you've heard about how amazing it is? The freedom, the flexibility, the money. Or maybe you've already started and you've got a small business, but you're not feeling like it's quite the same as the dream that you've been sold online. Well, I want to have a real conversation with you because entrepreneurship has been glamorized. Running a business is not like it seems online. It's not all the beaches and Bali, sipping your matcha teas and just freedom and 4-hour work weeks. It's a hot, long old slog. But I love it and I wouldn't change it, I wouldn't do anything else. But we're gonna get real because there are a few things that you need to know before you start your business. Entrepreneurship is not for everyone, but those who it's right for, it's bloody brilliant. But I want you to know these things before you start and take them on board, because the more you prepare, the easier it's gonna be for you. So if you wanna do this right and not end up broke, burnt out, or back in your 9 to 5, then stick around. So hi, I'm Sabrina. I'm known as the No Bullshit Entrepreneur, and I'm currently running multiple businesses, and I have been a business owner for over 15 years now. So I've been helping so many entrepreneurs build their businesses, whether it's from scratch or whether they're new to business, and help them not make the same mistakes that I did basically, and help them save time and money and just live a healthier, happier life. So today I'm here to tell you about all the things that I wish I'd known before I started a business, and I think these are the things that you absolutely do need to consider before you start a business or early on in your business journey, and basically provide you with a real checklist of things that you should be thinking about before you get all in. So let's start by tackling some of the biggest business myths right now. I actually recently just did an episode on my podcast called Sniffing Out the Bullshit. We should totally check out, because I did an episode called The Top Pieces of Bullshit in Business in 2025. And I listed, I think, 11 of them. And you should definitely go and have a listen to that, because I feel like I covered a lot of the big topics. But I'm going to pick 5 big business myths now that you absolutely need to know are not true. So the first one is probably the biggest one, is that you're gonna have more freedom. I hear this all the time, and oh my God, it's the biggest shock. Now, most people think, okay, if you own a business, that's it. You can choose when you wanna work and you could do whatever you want. You don't have an annoying boss all the way talking down your throat all the time. But you've just swapped one boss for many bosses. Your clients are your boss, your customers are your boss, your bills are your boss. You have to listen to those and follow them and do exactly what they want and say. So this is the problem. You've got just different forms of bosses, basically. And I think that what you've got to realize as well, that an employee, you can work your 9 to 5, get paid, guaranteed that, and you don't have any problems. Whereas in your business, every time you're not working, you're not earning. And so yes, you might hear this whole, you can make money while you sleep, but not at first. At first, you'll be working extra hard. You'll be putting in all those hours to try and get your business off the ground. So yes, later on, you'll be able to develop freedom, but that later on, depending on what business you're in, could be 10 years down the line. And I hear this a lot from business owners. So you have to realize that at least your first couple of years are gonna be a long old slog. So you need to think the freedom won't come right away. If you do it right and you don't take shortcuts and you listen to people, then you absolutely will get the freedom that you want and you deserve, but it won't come right away. So I want to make this clear. Passion is not a business model. Just because you love what you do and you're passionate about it does not mean you'll succeed. There are so many other things that exist in business for you to succeed. Some things that are without your control as well. So you need to realize this. Passion is not a business model, and real world solutions happen if you solve the real world problems. So think about this, because just because you love it doesn't mean you're several steps ahead of everyone else. Yes, you're going to enjoy it more and it's going to be much more pleasant to get through the hard days, but passion is not a business model. I love Pareto's law, so I'm going to split this into 80-20 again. So I'd say that business is 20% skill and 80% marketing, sales, and delivery. So talent and skill is step 1, but it's not the whole journey. This is similar to the freedom one, but I think that being your own boss at first is actually more stressful, because you've got all the responsibility on you. You have to do everything. You have to do all the marketing, all the sales, look after the staff, like everything's on you. It's way more stressful at the beginning. All the decisions, all the problems, everyone comes to you for those answers. You're the one that has to bring in the income, think about the growth. It's all down to you. And as a solo founder, this is incredibly hard, which is the point of why I try to create Knobs, which is the Entrepreneur Members Club, so that we founders are not alone, because it is so difficult being your own boss. Obviously, this will get easier with time, and as I said, surrounding yourself with quality people to help you along the way makes it so much easier and so much better and way more fun, but it's not easy being your own boss. Delegation is a big one, and it doesn't happen at the beginning. And I think so many people think, oh, okay, I can just get rid of those jobs. I can get AI to do half of them for me and I can delegate the rest to someone on Fiverr. But first of all, that money adds up. Sure, even if you are paying just £5 an hour, which is slightly unethical, but even if you are just doing that, it's all gonna add up. That money adds up to quite a lot per month. And actually, what you don't realize is that that money has to come from somewhere. Where is that coming from? Are you selling your product straight away? Are you actually selling your services right from the get-go? That takes time and money. Early on, you actually have to wear a lot of hats in order to build the cash flow so you can build out a team. So you can't delegate from day one, because also you need really good processes to make sure that you have a team that actually works together. Trust me, I've done it the hard way, and it's even more detrimental to your business. So here are just a few things that I think you absolutely need to know before you even start your business. So number one, your first job is sales and not your craft. I hear so many business owners, including myself, who say, I hate sales. I find sales cringy, I'm just not a salesperson, I'd rather people get to know me better, and I just want to be natural and let things come to me. Sure, we all think this, but if you don't know sales, then you haven't got a business. You have to learn how to sell and bring business in consistently, otherwise you just won't survive. Number two is that you're definitely gonna face loneliness and self-doubt. And again, people are gonna think I'm being negative, but I'm not. I just want you to bring to the realization of it, that being a founder is quite a lonely thing. Now, I don't believe that people should go all in and neglect their family and their loved ones and their friends, because some people do think that. They think like if you're not taking your business 100% seriously and you're ditching everyone else and concentrating on it, then you're not doing it right. I don't believe that. I believe that you can have a balance, but it is still lonely. Not everyone around you is going to be a founder and understand what you're going through. Like, you're going to upset different people, and you're going to have to make a lot of decisions by yourself, and it's difficult, and you're going to be filled with self-doubt, especially at the beginning, because you just don't know what you're doing. I'm 15 years in and I still have self-doubt all the time. So it doesn't go away, but it does get easier. So that's why I created Knobs, because I really wanted this elite entrepreneur members club where founders could get together and support each other, so that they wouldn't feel lonely, so that it would feel supportive, so that you would never have to live in your fear and you could understand whether you've made the right decisions. So I get super annoyed with people saying you just need consistency. Consistency is the key to success. But obviously you also need quality, you need strategy. So like, I'm sick of people just showing up and saying that that's it, I'm showing up every day, why aren't I getting good business results? It's because you haven't even thought about direction. You haven't thought about clarity of your messaging, and there is no strategy to what you're putting out there. So you can't just consistently show up. You absolutely need quality and direction too. So this is obviously related because I'm obsessed with strategy. I don't care how small you are, whether you're one person, you've got small aspirational goals, I don't care, you need a strategy. A small, simple strategy is fine, but random equals risky. So I want you to be thinking about who are your target audience, what are your goals, what are you trying to achieve, what sort of branding are you doing, what's your tone of voice. You need to know all of these sort of things. And even like your exit plan. Are you looking to grow and scale your business to God knows how many millions and sell it on to someone later? Or are you looking to just keep small and have a lifestyle business? Because actually, if you know this from the get-go, it will change the way you do business, and that's really important strategy to know from day one. This is something I learned quite late, but I think that energy management is actually more important than time management. And don't get me wrong, I think that you need to know productivity and you need to make sure that you are learning how to be efficient with your time, but your energy is more important. So it's not about grinding those 18-hour days because you're thinking, oh, I'm putting in the reps and therefore I'm going to be productive because I'm getting more done. You need to be conserving your energy. You need to be working at your best, because you're going to notice the big difference between you at your best versus you after an 18-hour day. So it's about sustaining energy, making smart decisions, and protecting your brain power. So I know that this might seem like I'm really risk averse and I'm being overly cautious, but I really hate content which is just like, go quit your job, go all in, you'll follow your dream, and if you don't do that, then you're not doing justice to yourself, you owe it to yourself. Yes, it sounds aspirational, and yes, there might be someone who can do this, but actually a lot of the time people are going to panic and not have the financial stability to do so, and they're going to make worse decisions, and it's going to be more dangerous. I'd like you to consider 3 things before you quit your job, and this is not me being overly cautious, this is just something I think is quite sensible to do. So before you quit your job, get out there and validate your idea. Actually get paying customers, because so many times I see people going, oh, people would love this. I know it's needed, but actually when you go out there, no one's willing to pay for it. And I've done this, I've had loads of ideas which I think would be great, and people aren't just willing to pay for it. So go out there, validate your idea before you quit your job. On that note, I want you to get 50% of your salary before you actually quit your job, from your business that is. So like while you're out there validating your idea, I want you to have earned 50% of your actual salary before you quit your job, because like I said, you're going to need run rates, you're going to need some reserve in your bank. And this will show you that you've actually got enough traction, got enough customers, you thought the idea through, and actually you're not going to be under financial stress while you're trying to build your business. So remember, this is not a 3-month glow up. It's like an 18 to 24-month commitment minimum. Are you ready for a marathon? Because if not, you might want to just pause and reflect and plan better and come back later. So I love entrepreneurship, obviously, but I feel like the content out there is really misleading, and it's really difficult when you're trying to build and you don't know who to trust. I would look for those people who are genuinely trying to build and be honest with their audience. And that's really difficult to be able to tell, right? But just match up what they're doing with what they're saying they're doing, and is it realistic? And then actually have a look at their testimonials. Is it the same people, just in an engagement pod with them? But then don't try to just compare yourself to other people, because you're never going to be the same as them. And remember, most people are not showing what's realistic on social media. They're just trying to glorify their journey. But I mean, take advice of people who have been there on the ground with you, are willing to actually take a call and genuinely be honest with you, rather than just take consultancy calls because they know that actually they're in it to make a quick buck too. I know you'll want to do the shiny things when you first start and you want to get stuck in, but actually some of the boring stuff is what's most important. Like I said, I love strategy, but I think strategy and processes and finance sounds so boring, but they are actually more important than everything else. Because entrepreneurship is not just the content, the personal branding and all the fun stuff that looks like from the outside. Actually, it has a lot of difficult things, and the logistics and the process is actually more important than most of those. And if you want me to do a follow-up video on exactly how to validate a business idea before you quit your job, then let me know, because if enough of you ask, I'll do it. But if you found this useful, please share it with someone else who you think is going to start a business or is in the trenches of it at the moment and needs to have some questions to make sure they're on the right path. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope to see you in the next video.